And ladies and gentlemen, for some reason, Tyler has given me the camera. Welcome to V5. Don't know what we're going to title it yet, but I'm going to leave that to Tyler. He is the professional here. And he doesn't know I'm doing this. But we are currently heading over to the garage right now. We're going to do a little bit of our core tradition. And it's in the name, folks. We're going to build a motor until midnight. Just gonna get out here. Oh yeah. It is good to be back. But tonight, we're not working on that. No. We are going to be working on my baby. And as far as Tyler and the rest of them know, I'm starting work on this at 8 a.m. tomorrow. But I said, screw that. I'm bored. We're going to push this bad boy over into Bay 1. We're going to build the motor, dude. Some of the key points and some of the stuff that we're going to get done tonight. Finishing the brake lines in the rear. Getting the rear differential painted and ready to go in. I already rebuilt it. Fuel filter, oxygen sensor, primary fuel pump. This is the custom primary fuel pump that I was going to make for the turbo build. Who said that? What? Yeah, we got the M20 885 head there. And then we got block with rotating assembly complete. Differential, clutch, flywheel, and all the fun stuff. All right, guys, so it's been a while. It has been a while since I've had this car on the list. It's been over 2 months. I forgot how much work I've done to this car over the course of the winter. I entirely redid the rear subframe and the rear control arms. Got an entirely new sway bar setup in there. I got a new fuel tank. That reminds me, I need to order this crossover line. Got new polyurethane 80A bushings all the way around. Got new rear wheel bearings. And where we left off was running the brake lines. The entire underside of the chassis, I entirely redid it. I also redid the front suspension with M3 lower control arms, sporting the M3 ball joints as well. Garagistics 80A polyurethane bushings for the front. We just have a standard generic street setup for the sway bars, nothing crazy. The power steering rack is the original rack that came in this car. I went through and resealed and rebuilt it. The front subframe is out of a 1990 sedan, because the one when we went to pull the motor out of this car, the subframe did not want to cooperate. I found multiple rot holes in it. And then I remembered, oh, I have a 1990 sedan out back. That's a parts car. And lo and behold, it fit perfectly. So, things we're going to tackle tonight before we go to bed. Wake back up and come back out here. We're going to go get the other parts from the other garage. Get them over here, see what we got. We'll probably get the rear CV axles installed. The rear differential is not ready to go in yet, but we'll get it ready to go in for tomorrow. I just got to paint the case, and we should be golden there. Also, shout out to ARP. I was short 2 head studs, and all it was an email, no questions asked, and they sent me 2 more. So thank you, ARP. Really appreciate your business. Not to mention motors that I've built in the past. Just excellent fasteners. There's no question what else you're going to be using. What else we got here? I got to redo that at some point. That's the rear main seal for the M20 and the rear main housing. These are the axle nuts for the CV axles. And these are the front headlights and capsules for the car, which I still got to redo and then install. And then I can install the Euro front end, which is going to be the full brow grille. I got all that brand new. We also are going to be getting the Garagistic M-Tech 2 body kit. Obviously, I have to make some repairs to the rocker on this side. Wheel wells are good. The rest of the underside of the chassis is in pretty decent shape. It's not perfect, but it's going to be nice. All right, I'm going to go grab those other parts. Oh, what do we have here? Ladies and gentlemen, the S5 brings the goods. So in this upper box, we got both rear CV axles. And then in the lower box, we have a custom aluminum radiator courtesy of Ireland Engineering. Oh, yes. So, wow. Brand new CV axles for an 87 BMW. Incredible. Not to mention, too, it came with hardware. Now, it's kind of bittersweet getting the hardware because I spent, I think, 2 days tracking down one bolt for this. And now we just have all the bolts. I also had to spend $20 for new CV axle nuts because the ones that were, well, when I separated everything, the nuts did not survive. So the car is a 1987, and before I bought it, it sat for 15 years on the side of this guy's garage. Needless to say, shit was seized. I was actually kind of worried about the actual spindle being messed up too, but I just installed this one, except for torquing the nut, and it slid right in. So I am no longer concerned about the spindles being out of round. But these CV axles are absolutely gorgeous. All right. So I took out the CV axles simply because I need all the space I can get for running these rear brake lines. I got to run them down the trailing arm, under here, along the backing plate, up to the connection up here, which will go to the caliper. Getting this all nice and primed up. We're going to let that dry for a minute for applying the first coat. And then tomorrow, once the paint dries overnight, we are going to be polishing the aluminum case on this end. And we're going to be inserting the 88 Garagistic differential bushing, which will be mounted right here. All right, guys. It has been a few hours. It is very dark. It is very late. And I am very tired. But we got the mid case entirely painted. We're just going to let that dry overnight. That has a nice gloss black finish. And then we're going to polish the front part of the casing where the cover is. Last thing we're going to do is put a 88 poly bushing from Garagistic in. And then, ladies and gentlemen, that differential will be ready to go in, along with the brand new CV axles. But before I do that, I absolutely have to get the brake lines done. Got to finish running those tomorrow. Once that's done, and we got our level sensor for the rear diff. And we should be in pretty good shape back here. Obviously, the brakes are still going to have to get bled at some point. In addition, I'm also going to have to torque the axle nuts once the whole drive line is in. Alright guys, we have officially wrapped up in the garage for the night. I'm thinking before we go in, I think we gotta take the Audi for a drive. Alrighty, just got off the phone with Tyler, and we fixed the SD card issue, so we now have 13 hours of footage. the morning. Birds are chirping. Sun's shining. BMW's on the lift. This dried very well overnight. So I can finally start to polish this end of the case, get the bushing in, and I'm gonna let that dry for a little while longer. While that's going on, we are going to be running the most painstaking, just utterly horrible rear brake lines. These have to go through here, under this, through this opening for the sway bar, under here to this bracket, to the dust shield, up and around, up to here. Another sad realization, eventually I'm gonna have to buy a different 325 IS and swap over the performance stuff from this to that chassis, simply because, and it's sad to say, but this car sat for way too long. This car sat for 15 years on the side of this guy's garage. And I'm doing a very extensive restoration, but at the same time, there's stuff that just isn't savable. There we go. All right, so bad news. I thought I had all the fittings I needed here to finish the brake lines, and I don't. I have 3/16 standard flare. I need 3/16 extended standard flare in order to properly couple with the fittings here. So we're gonna make a run to the parts store and see what they got. Okay, so we have found our brake line fittings that we need. We went to O'Reilly's first. They only had one. Yep, so I went across the street to this other parts store. And they just so happened to have 3 more of the exact same thing I need. So, we're in good shape. We're gonna head home. We're gonna build a car. Alright guys, we're back from the parts store. We got all the fittings we need. We got the Master Cool kit. And we are going to just plug away at these rear brake lines, and it should look pretty good. Alright guys, rear diff is done. I mean, it's a little tough with the lighting right now, but this wire brush aluminum finish looks absolutely incredible. It looks weathered, it looks aged, but at the same time, it still looks really good. And then the rest of the case is obviously just a gloss black. We've gotten some progress done on the brake lines here. Started the wraparound. Now I gotta somehow fit this through here, up to here. Then I gotta do the same thing on this side. Alright guys, we got 1 successful brake line done. Now we just gotta move over to this side. Let's finish up the brake lines. After that, we're gonna be putting in the rear differential and rear CV axles. So excited. All right, guys. The brake lines are all done. Finally. So all that's left to do there is bleed them, and then we should have brakes. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna press out this bushing, get the 88 bushing in there. Then we're putting the diff in, we're putting the CV axles in, and then we're pretty much done back here besides bleeding the brakes and installing new shocks. You guys hear that? That sounds like a... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey Jen.
Hey Lucas. What's going on?
Oh, not much. Getting a lot of shit done.
Hell yeah. We're here to build a motor.
You know, we just finished the brake lines today. We also got the CV axles, rear axle in.
Yeah.
Axles refurbished with new bushings. Oh yeah. I just gotta bleed the brake system and the brakes are done.
Fuck yeah.
So, very good. Oh, no, 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 no.
What is up, folks? We have arrived to the scene. Lukey Poo's been building an engine, recording. We just got here. What are we working on?
We're tightening down the CV axle bolts.
Nice.
Differentials all bolted in. I had to do I had to put a new pin out on this.
Yeah.
On the connector. Just because it fell apart. But this is all connected. We finished rebuilding the diff today too. We got a new poly bushing.
Yep.
We did a wire brush aluminum finish on
Nice.
the outer case here. It's not supposed to look perfect, but you see it and you're like, okay, this guy drives this car. This guy enjoys it.
Yeah, huh?
But he still keeps it somewhat nice.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we got all four bolts bolted to the subframe. So this thing is solid.
Big.
We got brand new CV axles in here too. Like I said, I'm just tightening those down, and then oh, we also finished running all the brake lines today.
Nice.
Probably the next thing I should do is fix the wiring harness for the secondary fuel pump.
Yeah.
And then install said secondary fuel pump, connect fuel lines, install fuel filter. Then I need to run new returning and feed lines front back. That's probably what I'll do on Tuesday. Fix that. But really good progress there. Oh, this guy's recording too.
Yep.
Nice.